Welcome back to the reconstruction of the human mind, where we take all the pieces we have smashed and try to build something that actually works. Today we are going to look at one of the weirdest puzzles in psychology, the Freudian slip. You know, the feeling. You mean to say one thing, but your mouth says another. Freud thought these slips were deeply meaningful. Like the man who meant to toast his boss, but instead of saying, "Let's drink to the chief," he said, "Let's hiccup to the chief." Freud said this was his unconscious desire to ridicule his boss leaking out. But wait a minute. How did his unconscious mind know to pick the word hiccup? There are 100 better words to insult someone. Did his unconscious have a perfect plan to use a pun? Marvin Minsky and other AI researchers suggest a different explanation. Opportunistic planning. Imagine your mind is not a single planner, but a collection of agents. One agent wants to honor the boss. Another agent wants to mock him. And crucially, the words themselves are agents. The word hiccup sounds like the word drink in German. So when the drink agent was active, the hiccup agent saw an opportunity and jumped in. This fits perfectly with Dennett's pandemonium model. Creative language is not a top-down process where a boss dictates a script. It is a bottom-up brawl where words fight for the limelight. This leads us to a profound question. Do we know what we mean before we say it? Abraham Lincoln once said you can fool all of the people some of the time and some of the people all of the time, but you cannot fool all of the people all of the time. It sounds great. It has a wonderful rhythm. But logic teachers love to point out it is ambiguous. Does he mean there are specific gullible people you can always fool, or that on any given day someone will be fooled? Maybe Lincoln didn't know. Maybe he just liked the sound of the sentence. Maybe the meaning came second. The writer Patricia Hampel admits that when she writes stories, she doesn't have a plan. She just keeps mumbling until something sounds good. She filches whatever is on the table. This suggests that meaning is often retrospective. E.M. Forster asked, "How can I tell what I think until I see what I say?" Dennett takes this literally. We often discover our own thoughts by hearing ourselves speak. Think of Bertrand Russell, realizing he loved Lady Adeline only after he heard himself say it. For a moment he thought, "Good God, what have I said?" And then he realized it was true. This blows up the idea that we have privileged access to our own minds. We are often in the same boat as our listeners, interpreting our own words after the fact. Now Dennett admits he used to believe in an awareness line, a watershed moment in the brain where things became conscious. If an error happened before the line, it was a deep error of thought. If it happened after, it was just a slip of the tongue. But he now realizes this line is a myth. There is no fixed moment where meaning is set in stone. Meaning is a negotiation between the thought and the expression. Sometimes the words change the thought. Sometimes the thought changes the words. Look at pathological cases like aphasia. People with jargon aphasia speak total gibberish, but they have no idea. They think they are making perfect sense. Their self-monitoring is broken. This proves the brain can generate speech without a coherent central meaner directing traffic. Or look at confabulation. People with amnesia who invent entire fake histories for themselves and believe them. They are not lying, they're just running the narrative machine without any data checks. All of this points to one conclusion. The mind is not a monarchy with a king meaner. It is a democracy of drafts. A messy parallel process where coherence emerges from chaos, and finally, where we now in our theory. We have built a model where consciousness is a virtual machine running on parallel hardware. It is a Joycean machine made of memes. It has no headquarters, no Cartesian theater. Instead, it has multiple drafts competing for fame. This theory borrows from neuroscience, AI, and psychology. Neuroscientists often make the mistake of thinking consciousness is the end of the line. They trace the signal to the brain and say, voila, consciousness. But they forget to ask, and then what happens? Cognitive psychologists focus on the what happens, but ignore the brain anatomy. Dennett is trying to bridge the gap. He wants a theory that explains the machinery without invoking a ghost. And that theory is that we are automata, biological robots running a very special kind of software that allows us to reflect on our own operations. This software gives us the power to be executive captains of our own ship, even though there's no single neuron in charge. So the next time you slip up and say the wrong word, don't ask what your inner boss meant. Ask which demon won the shouting match. Thanks for watching, and keep revising your drafts.